everyone, welcome to another session of the SEBI Grade A Success Story session. So today we have with us Mr. Eshwar. He is from a non-medical background and he has completed his B.Tech in IT in 2022, and he started giving the regulatory bodies exam from 2024. So he has given SEBI, he has given NPS, PFRDA, and in every exam he has reached the interview stage. And last year, just he missed PFRDA interview just by zero point zero 0.08 marks, and that was of course heartbreaking for any student. But of course his consistency and persistence, and of course his hard work has now led him to become a SEBI Grade A officer, and today he is a SEBI Grade A officer. So first of all, congratulations to him. And of course, I would like to tell his one more achievement that he has cleared IBPS PO, and he is now working with a public sector bank. But of course, Destiny has good plans, and of course, now he has cleared the regulatory bodies exam of SEBI. So, congratulations, Mr. Ishwar. How are you feeling?
Thank you, ma'am. It was a pleasure to be here. I'm feeling delighted and a sense of relief now after finally the exam cycle. I got out of the exam cycle.
Right. It's of course a very good relief because of course you have done a lot of hard work, and every time you have reached the interview stage, so of course there was of course the feeling that okay, now I should clear it, now I should clear it. So of course there is a feeling of relief. So can you tell the aspirants about the educational background that you had before you started, the preparation for the regulatory bodies exam?
Yes, ma'am. I have done B.Tech in IT engineering,
Okay.
IT stream.
Okay. So basically, how did you come across this regulatory bodies exam?
So initially, after my graduation, I started preparing for civil services. And during my course of my preparation, I came across I felt interested more towards the economy and finance, and I also came across the regulatory body examinations like RBI, SEBI, PFRDA, and that is when I decided that I have to switch towards regulatory body examinations.
Okay. So did you take up any job also after your engineering, after your graduation?
No, I actually did not sit for any placements during my engineering. After that, I was a full-time aspirant, and only 3 months back, I joined IBPS Canara Bank as a probationary officer.
Okay. So basically, you are very crystal clear that you wanted to go towards the regulatory bodies
Yes,
exam only after the graduation. Okay. So basically, how did you, start preparing? Because of course you are from the non-medical background. So finance, accountancy, costing, economics, these are all very new for you. So how did you gain interest in these subjects?
ma'am. Actually, it was quite difficult for me also to initially to navigate on these subjects like commerce, costing, which I never even heard of actually. So initially, I took the EduTap course, and it was very helpful because the videos are explained. They have explained the concepts in a simple manner that even a person from non-commerce background can easily understand the concepts.
Okay. So one aspirant who is coming from a non-medical background, of course, will relate to you because the subjects are quite different. We can say it is very different from whatever you study in your B.Tech and everything. So coming to the subject wise, like commerce and accountancy, costing, so these are very unrelated. How so? Was there any challenge, the major challenge, because there were numericals as well. So any major challenge that you faced in these subjects?
Certain problems like the numerical problems were quite challenging, both in costing and commerce and accountancy. So it actually took some time to understand. But slowly, once you understand the concept, it will become easier. You can go through the ICI material also, so which gives you
Okay.
much more conceptual clarity and different types of numericals also. You get an idea like what sort of questions are being asked. You can refer
So,
to PYQ, so that you
hmm.
get an overall idea like what sort of questions are actually being asked in the exam.
Right. So basically, did you practice the numerical part, a lot of times to have the gist of it?
Yes,
Right. So basically, but when the exam came, so the numerical parts were quite less. So was that a challenge for you, or was that an advantage for you because numericals were a tough part?
oh, actually, initially I felt it tough because after that, I've scored good marks in paper two because on these three, four exams, I've scored
Okay.
like above 80. Even in PFRDA, I scored 80. Now in SEBI, I've scored 81.25 in paper two, which is the second highest. So I don't think initially it was a problem, then slowly I could understand all the concepts.
Okay, this reminds me of this your rank as well. What is your rank in this SEBI grade exam?
On India rank of 15,
Oh,
15,
that's really nice. AIR 15.
15.
Wow. So, okay, now moving on towards like what was your mode of preparation? Like, of course, you took the EduTap course, but did you, devote time in self-study as well, or just you relied on the EduTap course only?
No, I did a lot of self-study apart from the coaching material because I went through the IC Institute of Chartered Accountants of India material, which
Okay.
is, I think, very important apart from the coaching material.
Right. So basically, one student should go about the ICAI material as well, because that is really vast. If I see the PDFs and everything of ICAI, these are really vast. So how should one start, and how should one, make notes out of it?
One can actually first refer to the previous year questions and just get an idea like what are the questions being asked and which topics are the questions are come from. So just they
Okay.
can just make a note of it and refer the same topics in ICMT. So that would be a good idea. Because some,
Right.
if you look at the recent trend, some questions have been directly picked up from the ICMT. So it's always better to go through once without fail
Yes.
before going to the exam.
I suppose this year also the questions were really direct from the ICAI material. So I think this is one plus point that every student should go towards these material as well. So now, going towards the other subjects like economics and management, the questions this time were very lengthy and they were very application based.
Yes.
Like if a student doesn't know about that concept, they will not be able to answer. So, how should one come across this, challenge in the exam? Because in the exam we have that panic state also, कि ये नहीं समझ में आ रहा है type. So, how should one go about it?
Actually, one has to solve multiple MCQs from different coaching institutes. That is when they get an idea of different type of questions that can be
Okay.
asked from in the examination and also refer it to the previous year questions. I think even for economics, one has to go through the ICI material. There is a module called business economics in ICI.
Okay.
They can go through it. It's very good. So almost all the topics in the syllabus have been covered.
Okay, okay. So, so was that a challenge for you in the exam, because the application-based questions were not asked in the previous year questions, if I, go through them. So it was really difficult this time. So how did you face that challenge? Like,
That was not a big challenge for because in EduTap also the mock tests are designed in such a way that they're at least one level above the exam level questions. So once you
okay.
practice that, it will become definitely easier in the actual examination to tackle any sort of questions that are being asked.
So one should not just focus on the material that they are studying, but also they should, go about the mock test. And
Um,
I suppose, yes, EduTap is giving one level higher so that, the students can practice more like high level questions, because once they are practicing the high level questions, they will, of course, be able to do one level low also.
yes.
Right. So, basically, any major challenge do you think that, in all the paper two subjects, like from a non coming from a non-medical background, what student faces, like what challenges do the student faces in all these paper two exams?
In paper two, like finance, a lot of questions are asked. They ask from current affairs because,
Hmm.
and sometimes even 1 year back, current affairs are also asked. Like you cannot really read them. So it's better to know how much to read and what to read. And when attempting the questions also, you have to be careful. You have to be mindful of which questions to attempt, which to not. Like sometimes the questions are very much factual, so it's better not to attempt. And until and unless you have read it, I would advise any aspirant not to attempt any too much factual questions. Like for example, for this time, a lot of questions were asked regarding GST, income tax,
Right.
which I feel most of the aspirants wouldn't have read. So it's always better not to attempt those questions and just rely on the conceptual questions which are asked.
Right, this time there were questions related to income tax, GST, and finance. So basically, I think in the previous year questions there was nothing sort of that, because that was little out of scope basically. And coming from a non-medical background, I suppose you did not read about those. Of course, maybe a CA student or a commerce student might have answered, but of course they were very factual, like the filling of details or filling of which form, etc.,
Mm.
etc. So, did you leave those questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Totally left those questions. Okay. Now coming to the paper one, like your QRE, GA, and descriptive English. So QRE was good for you because you are from the, like, of course,
Technically.
maths background, right? So how did you prepare for QRE?
I actually did not prepare because I had already given 3, 4 regulatory body exams and I was good
That's
to go. Just
okay. And what about GA?
GA also, actually, it is not required because you just require 30% in paper one
Ah,
QRE section to clear the section cutoff. If you are good in quant and reasoning, actually, you need not prepare specifically for GA. If you are
okay.
not good in quant and reasoning, you can definitely prepare for general awareness.
Right. But what do you think? What should be the material used for GA? Like, if one should prepare, like, because you have given other exams also, so you might have prepared for general awareness sometime.
You can go through EduTap's combinations or Affairs Cloud combinations for general awareness. That would
Okay.
suffice.
Okay, right. So, and what about descriptive English?
In scripted English, I would advise only 3 points. Like first, you have to complete the paper. You have
Hmm.
to complete the word limit. Second is you have to not make any grammatical mistakes and keep the sentences as short and crisp as possible. Because the longer the sentence, the tendency to make a mistake is more. Like the chances of you making a mistake is more. So you have to keep the sentences as short and crisp as possible and complete the word limit. That's it.
Right. So basically, how should student, that's very a good learning takeaway that, okay, you should keep the sentences less, very short and everything. But one should, what should be the sequence basically? Like there is Prezi, there is essay, and there is reading comprehension. So what should be done first? What should be the sequence?
I think first one has to complete the RC because 5 questions are asked from reading comprehension and it consists of 40 marks actually, more than essay and the Prezi because essay and Prezi consists of 30 marks, but the RC consists of 40 marks. So one
Okay.
has to complete RC first and then they can move on to either essay or Prezi.
Okay. So what was your sequence? Like,
As
did you
first I
plan
used
anything?
to, yes, my first you have to plan like how you have to complete in a sequence. I used to always complete RC first and then I used to move towards essay and at the last Prezi because essay will take some time to, you have to generate content and write.
Mhm. So, brainstorming is very important in essay. So,
Mm.
any help from any, guidance or we should do like in the mock test or reading something, like reading newspapers can help. So,
Reading
any
newspapers is,
strategy
yes, I have to, if you consistently read newspapers, that is more than enough for essays. And you
for
have
the
to,
essay?
yes, yes. Even for essays and all, you can reading newspapers is a must, I would say.
Right. So, I think this is one strategy that one student should adopt, that reading newspaper is a must. For essay also, for your Pressy also, for GA also, I
Must.
suppose that
Yes, ma'am.
reading newspaper will be a must. And now, like coming to the interview stage, like how many panel members were there? Were they cordial with you?
Yes, ma'am. They were very much cordial with me. 4 panel members were there.
Four. Okay, so
4.
everybody asked the questions.
Yes, ma'am. Almost everyone.
Almost everyone asked the questions. So the aspirants do want to know, like, what type of questions do they ask actually? Like, was it more related to the HR? Was it more related to the technical, or it was a mix of both?
I think it depends on the panel also because when last time I gave the SEBI interview, it was more HR based. But this
Okay.
time it was more on towards the technical side. So we cannot really make sure like what type of questions they ask. So it's always better to prepare. Like first you can prepare on the technical side questions related to SEBI and all. You can go through the annual report and read newspapers. And for HR also you can prepare because sometimes the interview would mostly be on HR based. Like for me the previous interview was mostly towards HR based questions only they asked. So, and for
Okay.
current affairs also, if you consistently follow newspapers, then that would suffice.
For the technical background, we should, of course, go through the newspapers. So,
Newspapers.
what
And other
section?
questions might come from your education background also. Like
Acha.
if you are coming from a engineering background, they can ask like, how will you make use of engineering in SEBI? How will you
Okay.
contribute towards it? Those sort of
So,
questions will be asked.
what should be the answer to this? Like, how will you use your engineering in SEBI, basically? I think, of course, this is a major question. I think for every B.Tech background student, this can be, the major question.
You can say like AI and data analytics, it's being used in everywhere nowadays. And
Mm.
engineering is all about analyzing data and replicating it, making use of data to make decisions. Like it could definitely be useful. Even SEBI is making use of AI tools like Sigma, SEBI Intelligent Gen AI, multifaceted analysis tool is there. You can give examples of how SEBI practically is also making use of AI tools and all. Now you can contribute towards it.
Right, right, right. Okay, so what type of questions in HR basically like related to your background only or something else also?
HR questions like they can ask like why you want to join SEBI, where do you want to see us in 5 years down the line. Those type of questions can be asked. Regarding my interview, some technical questions also they asked regarding market manipulation, insider trading, front running. What is the difference, basic difference? Those type of questions can be asked.
So more related to towards SEBI, like what does SEBI do actually? These are
So
the main. This is the main, I think, question.
one
So
can go through the towards one can go through the annual report without fail. It will give a
annual.
holistic picture about what SEBI has done over the last 1 year.
Okay. So the annual report is really important. Anything else do you think that we should read for the interview of SEBI, like
As for
apart from the
newspaper,
annual report?
annual report, newspapers, and SEBI circulars for last 3 4 months before the interview.
Okay, okay. SEBI circulars also.
Basic.
So I think this is one key learning for every aspirant that what one should prepare for in the interview because interview everybody is very resistant also sometimes because we can write the paper, we can answer in the paper, but the communication part is really difficult for some students. So you have given a lot of interviews, I suppose. So how do you think one should prepare for the communication part? Like how the confidence that you should have because there is of course panic stage also, there is anxiety before the interview. So any guidelines on any guidance on those part?
Actually, for communication skills, you can practice in front of the mirror or ask your friends or parents to just conduct a mock interview kind of thing so that you'll get an experience. You can also take mock interviews from coaching institutes like EduTap also provides a mock interview.
Mhm. Have you taken any mock interviews before?
For this time, I'm not taking them, but for previous years, I'll take.
You have taken the mock interviews, okay. So like because there is anxiety and everything before the exam, so how should one tackle that? And during the exam also, is there any part where we feel anxious? Like I think in descriptive English, if I just relate, the interface is quite different because what we practice on and the interface that they are providing is very different. So was that a challenge for you as well?
That's one. Since I given multiple exams, it was not a challenge, but anyone who is giving for it for the first time, definitely it would be difficult for him or her. So it's always better to practice before going to the interview. You can take mock tests and
Okay,
practice typing because type speed you have to practice typing also because you have to complete the word limit within the short span of time, or else you would get less marks. I think.
right, right. Now coming to your like the some personal background. Of course, you did not take up any job after your graduation. So was there any feeling that now I should take some job and everything, or because you were 4 years, I suppose you were a full-time aspirant. So was there any feeling that you should settle now, or I should take up a job because the papers are not getting cleared?
See, that feeling was not there because I was consistently reaching the interview stage and was missing the final selection by very small marks. So I was confident enough that I would definitely make it. If not this time, the next time I would definitely make it. So that was not a problem. But still, since last year also my father got retired, I had to take some kind of a job, and so I wrote IBPS PO, and I currently working in a public sector bank as a professional officer.
Really nice. So basically, was there any support? Of course, you might have got support from your parents as well, because I suppose your father is also from the public sector bank. So, was there any difficulty in the support system?
No, they were very much supportive and very much supportive. Actually, they used to. They also told actually not to take up a job. You can also prepare for 1 or 2 years. You can try without taking a job because once you take up a job, it would become very difficult for you to study because time management is very difficult. Because in public sector banks, the work pressure is very high. it becomes very difficult to give time to your studies. So
Right. Yeah, once we take up a job, I think we are more indulged in our job only, and preparing after that becomes very, very tedious. So I
yes,
suppose it is a good decision for you as well that, of course, you were a full-time aspirant, but that's good that you're now a officer. Okay, so just one more question now about the social media. Of course, social media also plays a very important role sometimes because it may, it is a good part also and has some distractions as well. So, are you related to social media at any point?
no, I'm actually not active on social media.
Okay.
So
So basically, do you think aspirants should, um, get away from the social media to be more on track, or we can use the social media and prepare for the,
they can
papers?
use the social media and platform because you can limit your time that you devote towards social media and can devote maximum time towards your studies. I don't think it would be a problem using social media.
And what about social gatherings? Like, did you miss any of the social gatherings because you were preparing for the exams, or you took out time for that as well?
Sometimes I used to miss social gatherings also, and
Okay.
so that, that will
So,
happen actually.
any regrets that you have not, gone to some wedding of your cousin's wedding or something like that? So, any regrets, or now you're okay? Like, okay, I've cleared the exam, so that is all worth.
That is all worth. Actually, at the end of the day, that is all worth.
Right. So now, last but not the least, what is your link with the EduTap? Because you were a paid course student. So, how did you got inspired by EduTap? And then, were there any mentors who really inspired you to be on this journey? And any favorite teachers?
So Manchit sir's videos were very helpful regard with respect to commerce and accountancy. His videos
Okay.
were very helpful to understand the concepts much better. And even Jalan sir's management videos were very good.
Mm. Right, right,
Even Kritika ma'am also conducts an YouTube sessions regarding RBI notifications, SEBI notifications that are
right.
also very helpful for any aspirant who is preparing. They can make use of it.
Right. I suppose yes. So mentors do play a very good role in your journey. So I suppose we are very happy that EduTap team could help you in that. So any guidance from your side to the all the aspirants? Any
Yes,
one major message that you want to give to the aspirants?
ma'am. Just keep working hard, be consistent. If you're consistent enough, definitely you'll make it. If not for this time, the next time, I'm sure definitely anyone who is consistent will definitely make it.
Right.
And
Consistency is the key.
consistency is the key.
Yes, you were saying something. Anything else?
Yes, ma'am. That's consistent.
Okay. So thank you so much. I think aspirants have taken a lot of learnings from you. I think reading newspapers and of course taking up a course also helps you. And then there is some, people who will inspire you in your life. So I think you are one of those for all the aspirants coming from a non-medical background and completing, exam which is quite different from whatever you have studied so far. So I think this is a really inspiring story. So thank you so much for taking out your time.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay. And congratulations again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.